Bouncing Bowdler, the red cap who shows the way for Great Britain and Ireland from Morrow.
Love calling, yeah. I mean, you get a great buzz from it, something I've always wanted to do. I travel halfway around the world to get an opportunity to do it, so yeah, I love it.
Bouncing Bowdler starting to stop with 100 yards left to go from Norton, Dumoulin and Beecham Pilot. They race towards the line and Bouncing Bowdler just got there.
I think I've been pretty well accepted. It's something where it's a novelty when you come over, and also people. I find television's a two-way thing. People who watch and listen, they get used to you, and you also hopefully bat yourself in whatever you're doing.
In a sport where the rapid flow of information is absolutely crucial to the viewer, he has it all. Your winner, Jim McGrath.
I was very lucky to win the Royal Television Society Award for Sports Commentator of the Year. There were 3 contenders, myself, Richie Benaud and John Motson, who's the leading football commentator here. I think I was about an 8-to-1 outsider of 3, and my name came up. I felt really it was for somebody who'd started out not being able to actually get a go calling in Melbourne, starting off with calling dog trials at Sandown Park in Melbourne. I felt that I'd achieved something after 30 years.
Dog trials at Sandown Park to Epsom on Derby Day. Jim McGrath's been a fair journey. Congratulations. What a career you're having.
Well, thanks very much, Bruce. I'm enjoying it, I'll tell you that.
Still not bad Derby Day, is it?
Fantastic. Best day of the racing in Australia the whole year. Fantastic to be here.
We were dying for you to say best racing in the world, but we won't hold you to that just yet. Jim, you're on our preview show tomorrow. We're just fascinated about the internationals. There are 7 horses that have been brought over, plus Sam Mason and Lane Vitality. We're going to ask you to try and to pick the eyes out of them. We've seen Beekeeper and Media Puzzle already. Here's the lineup. We've never had anything quite like it from Vinnie Rowe down.
Well, Vinnie Rowe's the class horse in the field, there's no doubt about that. If it was set weights, he'd win by 3 or 4 lengths. He's an outstanding stayer. Just got beaten in the Ascot Gold Cup, but that's no bad thing at all. That's an extreme distance. Jardine's Lookout, I didn't think was quite good enough. Dahlia Paws, a former top liner. He was second in derbies and he's run exceptionally well, and he's fairly well weighted. Sam Mason, I liked his run in the Moonee Valley Cup. I thought that was an encouraging run, and at his best he'd have to be a chance as well. Helene Vitality from Hong Kong, I'd just be worried about that. Hatharana, forget that one. Poojin, I think the best weighted horse in the race, Poojin. He ran second to Vinnie Rowe in the Irish St Leger. He's a pretty classy horse, and I think he's exceptionally well weighted. So too is Beekeeper, but he's, I think, a little inexperienced, although a good run at Caulfield.
And Media Puzzle?
Media Puzzle, well, we look on him as a different horse now. We can't believe how much he's improved. On the book, on the ratings, I think he's 19 pounds on Timeform ratings behind Vinnie Rowe. On the run at Geelong and what we've seen here today, he has to have gone up a lot in the ratings. And I think the key to him is the fact that he loves fast ground, and he's getting it here, which he didn't get in Ireland.
That's been the pattern over the last couple of years, hasn't it? Certainly the last 5 years. The horses that come down from the Northern Hemisphere and acclimatise, the horses that fit into our way of racing and love our climate and feed and water and those sort of things, they've been the ones that have done the job.
Yeah, that's right. Because you look at the double triggers, the Oscar Schindlers. They just didn't handle it at all for various reasons. It's how they acclimatise, and that's the key to the whole thing.
And what's the interest like back in England and Ireland because of the numbers here?
Well, I think there's going to be fantastic interest this year. For the last few years, this has been a feature on the front page of the Racing Post, which is the trade paper in Britain, and they've been betting on this for several weeks now. So there'll be tremendous interest.
We'll get your tip tomorrow, Jim, on the preview program from 12 o'clock Eastern.
Good.
Jim McGrath there, and boy oh boy, they have a strong hand, that is for sure, headed up by Vinnie Rowe. Out and about today on the course, Shelley Craft.
There are 5 girls here at Flemington that you are going to get to know very well. They are the finalists chosen to find the L'Oreal Paris face that stops the nation. Not only will the winner receive a trip for 2 to Paris, but she will also become the 2003 ambassador for the Melbourne Cup Carnival. It's up to you to decide who that winner might be. So for the next week, you be the judge. elite judging panel completed a rigorous screening process, culminating in a final fashion parade to choose 5 finalists to come to the Melbourne Cup Carnival. But only one will be crowned the L'Oreal Paris face that stops the nation. Will it be from South Australia, Catherine Crawford, Queensland's Chantel Skolsky, Janine Foster from Victoria, Western Australia's Leanne Griffiths, or from New South Wales, Rhiannon Box? Arriving in Melbourne earlier this week, the girls have had no trouble settling into their luxurious accommodation. They're on the A-list to the most in-demand functions in town, and to look the part, L'Oreal Paris have provided them with the latest makeup and beauty products while looking gorgeous with a wardrobe from the many fashion designers from Westfield. This is 5-star glamour all the way.
My parents have been telling me that they said, don't you understand that you can't buy tickets to these functions, they're VIP only. You know, anyone who's anyone is going to be there, and you're going to be there, and it's going to be an opportunity of a lifetime, and you're never going to get to do this again, so just soak up everything.
It's going to be really good to see how the next, few days pan out and meeting everyone, and I doubt I'll be getting much sleep. I'll just be too excited to sort of, I want to go to the next function now. Let's go.
To be on the A-list is fantastic. I mean, I'm a nobody. I'm a Melbourne girl, I'm nobody at work, and now they're saying I'm a celebrity, all this sort of thing. It's just fantastic. I mean, the A-list, you don't get a chance to get there that often.
We're all actually really quite different. It's hard to tell from a photo. You might see us all with a hat on and a smile and you think, 5 pretty girls. But I really think they've all got really individual personalities, so it's been really nice to have that brought out.
I'm here, I've made it this far, and I'm so grateful that I am here because we all get to do the same thing, whoever wins. Doesn't matter, we've all done every day at the races and had this great experience.
Now for the moment of truth. Anticipation turns to nervous excitement as the girls head off to Flemington on a journey which ultimately will see one of them become the L'Oreal Paris face that stops the nation.
Don't be confused about the action at the races. It's not all on the track. It's out here in the nursery car park, and it's not all about fashion either. It's about food. What are they eating? You're off to a car park party, are you?
We certainly are, just behind us there.
And you're not going empty-handed, are you?
Certainly not.
Mirrorball and some biscuits to go with the Mirrorball, right?
Yes.
Give it a go. Give it a try.
Look at these. They look brilliant.
They look very nice.
Derby Day with a bit of
Because you know what you can do later, when the sun gets a bit hard and heavy, you can stick them on the outside of the Mirrorball.
Oh, nice.
And then, and as you get hungry, you can pick them off, and slowly the whole thing can become like a big Sakata disco. Are you with me? Take the plate. You stick them on yourselves, all right?
We certainly will.
Look, the reason Sakatars are so important during the Spring Carnival is people spend so much time in the lead-up crimping and preening and squeezing themselves into tight little dresses and suits and outfits. You don't want to come here and gorge yourself and have bits falling out, darts hanging out and stuff like popping buttons and zippers, do you? You want to be able to eat like a horse but not look like one. You don't have a bottom like that, as good as Sub-Zero's bottom is, eh?
Good advice there from Andrew Datto, who's having so much fun, obviously, and so is Joanna Griggs.
Well, we said we'd have all the stars, and I'm joined now by one of the biggest here at Flemington, Kimberly Joseph, who is not only one of the international ambassadors for the Melbourne Cup Carnival here on behalf of the VRC and Network 7, but also one of the stars of Granada's Cold Feet, which we'll see on our screens in March. Kimberly, first of all, you look absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, Joanna.
Now, who are you dressed by? Give us the spiel.
Okay, Kim Fletcher did my hat. I've got glasses by Gucci and the dress by Katie Davenport.
Unbelievable. You're going to have to remember this for every day.
I know, I've got so many different outfits. It's ridiculous, but very, very fun, and I'm thrilled to be here.
Well, is the jet lag actually worth it? Because you have literally hopped on the plane after finishing the 5th series.
Yes, we've finished the final series of Cold Feet. So there's only 4 episodes, so I can't give anything away.
You can't give us any tips?
No,
I'm a mad fan of the show.
No,
Nothing?
It's the end of it. So yeah, it'll be absolutely worth it though. They're brilliantly written and well acted, and it's a great show. So watch out.
Great seeing an Australian girl doing so well.
Thank you very
I know
much.
that we've got you back here because you are doing plenty of things, including fashions on the field. So
Yes,
I know you've got to go now.
I've got a very full schedule.
All
We'll
right.
see you on Fashions on the Field, hopefully.
I'll be watching you. Kimberly
you.
Joseph here in the 7 Network marquee.
Joanna there with Kimberly as the horses in the mounting yard for the Nestle Peters Classic, $400,000. Hosanna, top class mare, fourth in the Triscart, won the Jayco here at the start before.
Very classy. She hasn't won at this distance yet, but I do think she has the class to do it. By Octagonal, the great stallion. Form's consistent. She'll be right there.
Miss Zoe, number 2, comes from New South Wales with a good reputation, won the Angster listed race and did win the Emancipation in the autumn.
What an honest mare she is. She likewise has got poor stats at Flemington here. She hasn't won here yet, but she's so honest. You can see her running on at the end from a pretty wide gate.
It's been a massive $40,000 bet just placed on Perno. What form she has this spring with a third in the Toorak after winning the Dubai Cup?
Well, she's a lightweight mare. She's run in all the right races and run well. I'm tipping her because I think she's got more class. She hasn't won at 1600, but she will.
Suited by the way for age, Perno. 4 Tickle My was fourth in this race last year and fourth in the Tessio last start.
Well, they say mares are inconsistent, but yet again, here's another consistent mare doing the job. Her last 5 starts have all been good. I think she's got a chance as well.
5 Gold Lottie was second in the Wakeful last year on this day, fifth in the JRA Cup at Moonee Valley.
Well, she could go all right. Darren Beedman will help her from barrier 14, but probably not this preparation. I think she needs to lift.
6 It's Platonic, third time in the race, was second 2 years ago last year, but comes back to mares races today.
Well, barrier 18 won't be any gift from out there, but Paddy Payne, a good jockey. Look, I think her form's probably a bit mixed and needs to lift to win.
7 Keys, she won the Wakeful on this day last year, 9th in the Tessio.
Once again, a mare who's been around everywhere, raced in Queensland, Sydney, Melbourne, and this preparation really hasn't put it together.
Flying Gentle Genius won the Tessio. John Singleton, one of the owners.
The last 5 starts have been fantastic. Good win at the last start. I reckon she'll be right in the firing line when the whips are cracking.
Number 9, Hello Dolly's been a Group 1 winner at Weight for Age in New Zealand, was 9th last year in this race.
A bit of a tip around for this mare. Last year should have won this race, and Damien Oliver in the saddle will give her a good ride. She only got New Zealand form, but start before last, a good win.
11 Romano's Star will be the next horse we'll take a look at, with number 10 being Scratch, was 6th in the Triscart last start.
Yeah, not a really top form there. 11th before that. I can't really have Romano's Star.
12 is Reactive, a progressive mare. She's won 5 from 13. First run at the mile, did win the Tristark at big odds.
Well, she ran terribly at Flemington the last start, but then just came out of the blue and won at Caulfield at big odds. She's trained here. Brian Mayfield-Smith could be the one.
13 Purple Groove loves Flemington. 5 starts, 3 wins, 2 placings.
He's a track specialist here, Purple Groove. I'm expecting her to be rattling home at the end of the race. Might have just liked a little bit of the cut out of the ground.
Gwendolyn, 7th in the Tristark running on. Won a nice race before that at Randwick.
Yeah, Randwick form good and consistent. We just have to take her on trust in Victoria. 7th wasn't a bad run. She'd be among the chances.
They're the mares. Now we come to the fillies. 15 Royal Perla won the Flight Stakes, beating Victory Vane Group 1, 5th in the 1,000 Guineas.
It was a shock win against Victory Vane, but she franked it in the 1,000 Guineas with a good 5th. The weight advantage is significant here. 17 Alley won't help her though.
And the other filly is Coupe, who won the Edward Manifold Stakes here and then was only 11th in the 1,000 Guineas.
Well, that was a bit of a surprise win, and I think that 1,000 Guineas proved that.
So that's the lineup for the Nestle Peters Classic as the fillies and mares go to the post. For the inside mail on all the racing throughout the Melbourne Cup Carnival, just log on to sportswatch.com.au and you'll also see how you can purchase some terrific merchandise on offer. That's sportswatch.com.au. Filling up the stalls pretty rapidly here. Miss Zoe's been heavily back. They're going along the rails now with a late plunge on number 2, Miss Zoe. Perno, second in this race last year, retains her favouritism at $2 to 1 or $3 on Super Tab.
Great to see them behind the gates here. I love to see that. The mares, you see a barrier blanket on one of them there. That's a device they use on a horse that gets upset in the barriers. Doesn't like the barrier stalls touching her. So they put the blanket on and she'll relax in there. Horses can run their race behind the gates. You get one that's sweating up and jumping around. Burns a lot of energy. I like to see him nice and quiet.
It was Gold Lottie with the barrier blanket. You can see the breeze really blowing up here. This race, Group 2, $400,000. Probably second only to the Coolmore in Sydney in terms of importance for mares, as we join our caller, Wayne Wilson.
Last couple moving up into the gates. Edge Platonic's going forward now. A little problem down at the 1400 metre point. A couple of boys on the track, a couple of attendants down there, and the starter issuing instructions for those gentlemen to clear the course proper. The mile start at Flemington, a little kick out. They go about 200 metres to link up with the course proper. They're set to go. Oh, troubling close. Coupe moving about, racing. Coupe was one of the first to hit the ground. Reactive fast away. Hosanna showing good speed in the early part, popping in behind them, fourth or fifth. Going forward on the outside there is Royal Perla. She's dashing around them quickly, and she's going to take up the running as they leave the 1400 metre point behind them. Royal Perla by 2. Coupe is going to second, and Pernod beautifully placed third on the outside. Followed then by Reactive next on the inside. Hosanna's nicely placed. Further back in the field, it's Platonic. She's covering a little bit of ground. She's on the outside there. A length further back in the field to Hello Dolly, and then Gold Lottie. Further back on the inside there was Purple Groove. Gentle Genius is a little bit wide at the moment. Keys is getting well back off the pace with Tickle By. She's back to about third last. Then Gwendolyn and Miss Zoe, the one that they put the money on. She's last of all. 750 metres to go. They're approaching the home turn. It's Platonic has moved up on the outside, and she surged to the front now. She leads by a neck on Royal Perla. Perno's going beautifully a length away third. She's parked just off the speed. She's going to have the last shot at them in the straight. Romano Star is fourth on the outside. A length further back to Gold Lottie, starting to go forward. Coupe's over on the inside, and Hosanna is back behind a wall of horses with nowhere to go. They're stretched across the track with 300 metres to go. Here comes Perno on the outside. She's after Coupe. Coupe got the run on the rails. Perno's just in front of Coupe. Romano Star having a crack at them, and right down the outside with a blinder of a run, Miss Zoe from last to first, and she's landed the plonk. Miss Zoe first by an ever-widening 3 lengths on the line. Purple Groove got second. Romano Star third. By G, she flew home, Miss Zoe. Gentle Genius behind them. Perno had a chance. She didn't finish it off. Coupe the next one over the line. Then Royal Perla, Gentle Genius, Gwendolyn. Hosanna didn't feature today. Reactive, Hello Dolly. Keys one of the last home with Tickle By and Gold Lottie.
How good was that? She could win the Emirates next week on that run. The Group 1 on the final day. That was some sort of a run. 2:13.11, Purple Groove second, and Romano Star third. This was a sensational performance. Justin Sheehan, well, no wonder he was going up in the air at the end. This has come from stone motherless Miss Zoe. They went along the ring. We told you late that they were putting the money on her. Her form at Randwick was terrific. She'd come to Melbourne and hadn't fired last time in. She's won a lot of stake money, this mare, and today she takes her 625,000 into the 900s. This was absolutely outstanding. We've had 28 races since a favourite has won on Derby Day, and Perno's gone under again. So 2:13.11, officially fourth Perno and fifth Keys. That was fantastic.
Oh, was. This mare is so consistent. She's devastatingly consistent. She just runs a good race every time she goes out. Now she's finally found the conditions to suit her, and has she put a space in them? I thought Perno here on the fence was going to kick away when they got halfway down the straight. She was full of running, but no sooner did I think that when I saw the red colours and the green sleeves with Justin Sheehan there pumping the air. I saw him coming down the outside. I knew it was all over.
Well, Les Bridges trained a Melbourne Cup winner. He knows all about it. He's the trainer. He's with Peter.
Yes, those colours of red and green sleeves were prominent 15 years ago in the Melbourne Cup. Les Bridge, her sectionals will be outstanding for the last half mile of that race.
Well, she's been doing that for about... She won the Emancipation Stakes in the same way, and the last 2 runs have been similar, so... She's just one of those mares that's come good with time.
Did you think she got too far back? Because looking at the race, I thought she was a long way behind them.
No, I knew what he was going to do, and, well, she'd either going to come home or she wasn't, but I knew the way he was going to ride her, so I was actually happy.
Is that smile on your face because there was a big plonk in the ring? They put plenty on her. Any of it yours?
Well, just to win a nice race like this puts a smile on your face.
Les Bridge, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, it's Justin Sheehan and Miss Zoe. Justin, you waited very hard to ride this mare, and she gave you a good feel, didn't she?
Yeah, mate. 3 fellows, Kenny Russell, Stephen Jackson and Jason Oliver. 3 champions that are no longer with us. 3 former jockeys, great friends, and may God rest their soul. I love them, and they helped me get down to the 55.5.
Terrific, mate. And she went back to last early, and she done a terrific job in the straight just to pick them up.
Yeah, she's a good mare, thorough. You know, all credit to Les, the trainer. He's a freak. And this is the 3rd time she's been able to win on 50 thrifty finance, thrifty rent-a-car day, so it might have been an omen today.
Congratulations, Just. Hope we see you over the carnival.
Thank you, Johnny.
Well, Justin Sheehan had no luck last year with Universal Prince being scratched on Melbourne Cup morning. Here's the reaction from the excited connections, and why not? Look, I think if this horse runs in the Emirates Classic next week, look at Justin Sheehan. Says he's won the Melbourne Cup, but she's a real chance in the mile next week if she fronts up.
Well, she is, Bruce, because she's so consistent. This is not a fluke. She's been running good races week in, week out. There's no reason why she can't back up at the end of the week and do it again.
6-year-old mare. We've seen some old horses do some great things. I say old horses, Northerly at 6 years of age this year. I mean, mature horses. A lot of mares at 6 are well and truly out having foals, aren't they?
They certainly are. Some of them are looking for the paddock, but, you know, like old race callers, they just keep getting better, Bruce.
Kensai's colours. I'll just let that one go straight past to the bowler. Kensai's colours. Les Bridge, Kensai, Larry Olsen. Remember, he dieted to win the Melbourne Cup in, I think, 1985.
Justin Sheehan, a heavyweight jockey there. He does battle to get down to the weights to ride these sorts of horses, so he does it very hard. And he thanked those late jockeys who were all great friends of his that lifted him to that performance.
Fitting tribute from Justin Sheehan. What a win. Miss Zoe in the Nestle Peters Classic.
Sea Australia is on the lookout to find today's Amy Victoria Derby favourite. If you've been dreaming about a great Aussie holiday, here's your chance to win. Simply SMS the number of your favourite Amy Victoria Derby horse, followed by your full name and postcode to 0428 123 555. If your selection wins, Sea Australia is giving you the chance to win a 3-day holiday for 2 people staying at the Novotel Twin Waters Resort just south of Noosa. The prize includes return economy airfares, accommodation, and is valued at over $3,000. Each vote puts you in the running to win this fantastic prize, which will be announced later today.
So what are you waiting for? Go on, get out there. See Australia!
A broadcast of the Melbourne Cup Carnival is brought to you by Tui's New, backing the Melbourne Cup.
This is the VRC Young Members Derby Eve Ball. It's the night of glamour and it's the night to party to kick off 4 big days of racing. Well, what's the plan tonight? Do you take it easy, stay on the waters and stay nice and fresh for the races tomorrow?
No, we definitely party very hard tonight and tomorrow. We're going to be going for 2 days straight.
We've been in training all week. Yes, we've done the fascinators, we've done the hats, we're ready to rock and roll.
We just love coming every year. It's a fantastic evening.
We're in for a big night, a great night, and looking forward to a fantastic evening to go well into the early hours of tomorrow morning and into the next day.
Well, it certainly looks like the VRC Young Members Derby Bull was the place to be last night, the perfect entree to the party that is the Melbourne Cup Carnival. What a run, Miss Zoe in the Nestle Peters. Correct weight, Des Gleeson, the chairman of the stewards, correct weight after the Nestle Peters. Let's check the dividends.
Number 2, Miss Zoe, 720 and 270. 13 Purple Groove, 290, and 11 Romano Star, 1390. Quinella, 4860. Trifecta, 3668, and the Exacta, 7980.
Came home her last 421.7, Miss Zoe, as we go to the presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're joined in the mounting yard here today by committee member Mr. Bill McKinnon, who's escorted the very excited connections of this wonderful mare, Miss Zoe. To make the presentation, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce Mr. Kel Kilner, National Business Manager, Impulse Division for Nestle Peters Ice Cream, to hand over the trophies.
The Chairman, members of the committee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the new catchphrase for Peters Ice Cream is go on, enjoy. Looking around this fantastic crowd today, it seems that everyone is taking this catchphrase to heart. I hope that many of you can enjoy a Peters Ice Cream amongst the champagne and beer while you're here at Flemington. The Victorian Racing Club and Peters Ice Cream have much in common. They're both traditional and heritage brands, a symbol of this great country of ours. The VRC Spring Carnival continues to exceed all expectations, and we in our 4th year are delighted to be involved again here on Derby Day. Today was the inaugural running of the Nestle Peters Classic over 1,600 metres, and I'd like to congratulate the connections of Miss Zoe on a wonderful win, ridden brilliantly by Justin Sheehan. I'd like to now call on the winning owner, Mr. Tony Curtis.
Well done, mate. Terrific win, 32.7 in their last 600 watt sectionals for Miss Zoe, as we now move to the Wakeful Stakes.
Number 1, Lashed Jim Cassidy. 2, Fuji Dancer Karen McAvoy. 3, Millanova Frankie Dettori. 4, Soprana Darren Gauci. 5, Hierogram Darren Beedman. 6, Homecoming Queen Greg Childs. 7, Halo Amore Stephen King. 8, Bullaborghese Chris Muntz. 9, Unzip Jason Patton. 10, Just Fame Glenn Boss. 11, Make Me Strong Corey Brown. 12, It's Houdini Brett Preble. 13, Wistrakawi Peter Mertens. 14, La Quinta Gold Danny Nikolic. 15, Jamila Scott Seamer. 16, Muscadet Link Robertson.
Hierogram early favourite here, but I might say, Sean, you have a little bit to play with. You followed that late money on Miss Zoe. It was a big result for you.
Yes, I ended up having a very nice result on that, Pat.
To the tune of a couple of 100,000. I think Hierogram, as I said, has opened up for John Hawkes here at just a touch under each way odds, but another tough betting race. The top 2, Lashed and Fuji Dancer, well in the market. Which way are you going?
I think it's a 2-horse race between Lashed and Hierogram, but Lashed is a better price, so I'm going for a bit of value here.
Homecoming Queen too, nice and tight at each way odds alongside Fuji Dancer, but Hierogram, early favourite here in the ring.
Full race totes for race 5, the Qantas Wakeful Stakes. 1, Lashed 780, 2, Fuji Dancer 480, 3, Millanova 49.50, 4, Soprana 920, 5, Hierogram 410, 6, Homecoming Queen 570, 7, Halo Amore 66, 8, Bullaborghese 45.20, 9, Unzip 20.80, 10, Just Fame 207, 11, Make Me Strong 12.50, 12, It's Houdini 21.40, 13, Wistrakawi 103, 14, La Quinta Gold 63.50, 15, Jamila 37.10, 16, Muscadet 53.20.
So favourite Hierogram here, but still a wide betting race, Lashed at $7.80. There's a 2,000 metre start for the Wakeful. Both Lashed and Fuji Dancer are drawn out a bit. Hieraogram's drawn in.
I don't think it'll matter, Bruce, because I think this is one of the greatest 2,000 metre courses in the world. Beautiful long run to the first corner, big sweeping corner, and then they straighten up with a long run to the post. Gives every horse its chance. There are really no excuses at the 2,000 at Flemington.
Who are you going with?
Well, I've got a lot of respect for Fuji Dancer. I think she's going well, and I like Lashed, but I'm going to stick with Hierogram. I just love the way she won at Caulfield.
So Hierogram for Richard, Sean Bartholomew going for Lashed, as he told Pat, and Hierogram also for Graham Sampiri. Well, Dr. Harry's out and about here at Flemington. He's caught up with a vet who's even busier than him.
I'm in the sampling unit with Senior Veterinary Surgeon for Racing Victoria, John McCaffrey. John, what goes on down here, mate?
Well, this basically, Harry, is where we conduct our drug control program, and this morning or during the day we'll test about 80 horses with pre-race blood tests, and we'll conduct about 20 post-race urine tests on horses.
So you actually take a blood sample from what horses in what race?
We choose generally the first 3 or 4 favourites, and then we'll choose 1 or 2 other horses at random, and we do up to 8 horses in each race.
Do you test those on the track?
They are tested in our mobile laboratory, which is situated right next to the unit.
And how long before each race does that occur?
The horses have to be on track about 2 hours before their race, and we get a result from those samples about an hour before the race.
Do we actually see positives these days?
It's a very low rate, Harry. It's about 0.06% of samples taken, so it's very low, 6 in 10,000.
And this is pretty intensive racing on the, over a period like this.